Hey everybody, interesting situation that happened with the ID.4. We were told it was a Pro S model when it showed up, but it's actually just an S. So I recorded this whole range test thinking it was a Pro S model, and it's just a standard range S rear-wheel drive. So all the numbers will be accurate at the end, and I just kind of figured we'd send the video as it was right here. And either way, hope you enjoy. The Volkswagen ID.4 has been out for a few years now, but we haven't had a chance to test this rear-wheel drive Pro S version on our highway range test. So let's get out and see how it does. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the real-world highway efficiency and range test on the 2023 Volkswagen ID.4 Pro S. In today's test, we're going to head out and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour to get a realistic range figure for this subcompact, compactish electric crossover. We've got it all charged up here at the house. We're going to head out without any sort of preconditioning. This is going to be a real-world test, if you will, in just that if you needed to hop on the road and get rolling, what's it going to be like? Before we get started, taking a look at the car, I do think it looks nice in this darker red color. The last one we had was a blue and had the bright white first edition interior. I think this is a more mature spec. This car does have a lot of fun things about it, but some things also that make living with it a little bit more difficult. So if you do want to see more on the ID.4, check the links in the description. We've got a DM review as well as a little sound test on the 7-speaker sound system. Now, interestingly, I got in the car this morning to do this test, and it hadn't charged overnight. I don't know if it was an issue with my charger here at home or if it was an issue with the car, but if you have an ID.4 and you've experienced plugging in the car and having it not charge over a period of time, let me know, because I'm curious whose fault it was, if you will. Interestingly, also, only 207 miles of estimated range at 100% charge right here. Now, this car is rated for 275 in mixed driving by the EPA. We've got an 82 kilowatt hour battery pack, usable, only 77 kilowatt hours, so they've got about 5 kilowatt hours there of overflow room, if you will, for the battery pack. But 207, not fantastic. I don't know if that's based off of using climate or the speeds at which we've been driving or the cold weather or what, but let's see how that actually fares. According to the EPA's test, we should be able to expect about 250 miles of highway range, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't actually see that at the speeds we will be traveling. When we test electric vehicles, we run at 67 degrees Fahrenheit inside, auto with one level of seat heat. So let's get that going now. Before we leave the house, reset our GPS. We're ready to begin. A few things to note. Today, as I said, the outside temperature is, what do we got here? 49 degrees Fahrenheit. Our tire pressures have been set to their door placard, 42 PSI cold. And we've got our climate control set at 67. If this were a warmer weather test, we'd be running at 73. We figure that 67 is maybe a little bit more realistic for an electric vehicle that's more sensitive to creating heat in the cold. Now, we're not trying to get the best possible range out of this car, but rather a realistic figure. So in order to do that, we're getting up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace. We're going to set our cruise control at a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour, and that should allow us to average just about 70 over the whole trip. Decently quiet in here, certainly quieter than our Tesla Model Y was, a little bit less echoey and boomy, but maybe not the quietest car in the world. It's pretty average for the price. We do have some sort of moderate highway driving assist functionality, so it should give us a little bit of lane keeping. Kind of see by the end of the test how useful and effective that is. Seems like our speedometer is about 1 mile per hour high compared to our GPS, so we're going to settle in at 73 on the vehicle. If this truck in front of us can figure out what they want to do. All right, well, we're going to settle on in, catch up with you at the end of the test. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. coming into the end of the highway efficiency and range test here in the ID.4, and I don't know if they told us that we have the wrong car or not, because we've traveled 98 miles, just almost actually 99 according to the GPS, and it says we only have 42% remaining and estimated 84 miles. I mean, that would mean you can only get about 180 miles out of this charge. That just doesn't seem right out of the 77 kilowatt hour battery pack here in this that we're supposed to have in this Pro S model. So it would make sense to me in some ways that this is not the Pro S, because it does feel a bit sluggish. So maybe it is a base motor. I'll have to research that in a little bit more. But when we receive these cars from the sort of fleet distribution companies, they tell us what they are, and we're kind of basing our review off of that. So if this is indeed truly a Pro S rear-wheel drive, 275 mile estimated mixed range, and we're only able to get about 180 or so on the highway, that's not gonna be good. So let's get this thing back, charge it up. We'll see how much electricity we put in there, but that should help us kind of figure out what size battery we're dealing with. Here we are, charged back up, back at the house, and ready to do some calculations. We assume a 90% efficiency from the level 2 charger into the car, so how much juice is actually getting into the battery. And that means overnight the car took 33.3 kilowatt hours into the battery, and we traveled 101.2 miles. So 101.2 divided by 33.3 is giving us 3.04 miles per kilowatt hour, which is actually pretty much exactly, if you were to round down, what the car says right there, 3.0 miles per kilowatt hour over our trip. I don't know why the car seemed so inefficient yesterday from the percentage standpoint, because it was all the way down to 41%, and we'd only travel 100 miles. So clearly you're not going to be able to do over 200 miles if you're 9% under half after only doing 100. But if we take this figure, 3.04 miles per kilowatt hour, and multiply it by the usable amount of charge in the battery, 77 kilowatts or kilowatt hours, that would give you just over 230 miles of range here in the rear-wheel drive Pro S ID.4 at 70 miles per hour in a little bit colder temps. 46 degrees Fahrenheit today is about what it was yesterday as well. Actually, the more math I'm doing now, if the car actually only took 33 kilowatt hours to get to full, then we probably do have the smaller battery pack in here, right? Because if we had 77 usable kilowatt hours, then that'd be 38.5. So if we took only 33 to make it up from below half, we must have the smaller battery pack. I gotta remind myself how big that one is. 58 usable kilowatt hours would be what we'd have with the smaller pack, so divided by 2, 29. That would actually make a ton of sense if we only have the smaller pack. So I'm still waiting to hear back from Volkswagen and from our fleet company to see exactly what pack we have here. I'm obviously going to throw a disclaimer at the beginning of the video and change what I had to say if that is indeed the case, but that would make more sense if we were running with the smaller pack, and in that case 3.04 miles per kilowatt hour times 58 would only be giving us 176 miles of usable range at highway speeds and colder temps, which is quite a bit lower than what the car is estimating. I don't know, it's really strange. I hope to get some more answers soon. Either way, if you can estimate about 3 miles per kilowatt hour cruising on the highway with a rear-wheel drive ID.4, that should be at least some usable information for you. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on this maybe Pro, maybe not S ID.4, check the link in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.